Imagine sitting in your living room, holding a model of the human liver in your hand. Now, picture what happens if you don't take care of this organ. It can gradually turn into a fatty liver, then a scarred liver, and eventually fail altogether. The liver is like your body's ultimate cleaning system, responsible for over 500 critical tasks, and the most important one is clearing toxins. For many years, fatty liver was mostly linked to drinking too much alcohol. But today, the truth is very different. If you're struggling with fatty liver right now, it's far more likely caused by the foods you eat every single day. And I get it, you've probably felt frustrated by all the conflicting advice out there. I've seen countless videos that miss the bigger picture or share incomplete information. That's why in this video, we'll cut through the confusion and uncover how fatty liver really develops, and more importantly, how you can protect your liver. But first, let's talk about the foods you should avoid, along with the common myths that often mislead people. I was sitting at my desk scrolling through articles, and the first thing I noticed was the constant warning about sodium. Stay away from salt because it causes water retention, they say. Now, this has a hint of truth. Water does follow sodium. But here's the reality. That only becomes a problem if your body can't regulate sodium properly, such as in cases of kidney failure or hormone disorders. For the average person, sodium itself isn't the cause of fatty liver. So that piece of advice? X. Not accurate. Next up, added sugar. And here I completely agree with the warnings. Added sugar is a major driver of fat buildup in the liver. That one deserves a green check mark. Then I kept reading about red meat. Avoid it because of the saturated fat, they say. Yes, red meat has saturated fat, but the claim that this automatically damages your liver is misleading. We'll clear that up in a moment. X. And then there's the topic of fried foods. The advice is usually don't eat them because they're high in fat and calories. That explanation misses the point. The real danger isn't the calories, it's the oils used for frying. Most fried foods are cooked in vegetable oils that are already unstable and damaged from high heat. These oils become toxic and harmful for the liver. So, should you avoid fried foods? Yes, unless you occasionally cook them yourself with stable fats like coconut oil or lard, which don't carry the same risks. Now let's address a popular phrase you've probably heard: you are what you eat. I remember walking through a grocery store and thinking about this saying. If it were true, then cows that are rich in saturated fat must be eating saturated fat, right? But cows don't eat butter or cheese, they eat grass. And somehow, through a biological transformation, that grass turns into saturated fat stored in their bodies. The same applies to us. The saturated fat in our liver doesn't simply come from eating saturated fat. Instead, it comes from excess fuel. When we eat more food than our body needs, especially in the presence of high insulin, that overflow is stored as fat. Over time, this clogs the liver, and that's when insulin resistance develops. So it's not as simple as blaming one nutrient. It's about what happens when the liver gets overwhelmed. Think of your liver as an airport security checkpoint. When too many passengers arrive at once, the line backs up. Similarly, the liver gets congested when it's given more work than it can handle, especially substances that only the liver can process. There are 4 main culprits: alcohol, the well-known factor restricted because of its toxic burden; fructose, often overlooked. Every 100 grams of sugar contains 50 grams of fructose, and unlike glucose, only the liver can handle fructose. Toxins. When the liver is already busy, toxins from food, water, and the environment pile up. And insulin, this storage hormone, doesn't cause fatty liver by itself, but once the liver is already fatty, insulin keeps fat locked in place and prevents healing. This is why it's not enough to just eat less fat. The problem is overload: too much alcohol, too much sugar, too many toxins, and constant high insulin. So what does this mean in real life? Sitting at your kitchen table, here's what to actually avoid if you want to protect and heal your liver. Alcohol, obvious but still the biggest liver destroyer. Sugar, both added and natural. Yes, even large amounts of fruit can push your liver into overload. Starches. Rice, bread, pasta, and potatoes all break down to glucose that spikes insulin. Fried foods in vegetable oils because of the damaged and inflammatory fats. And here's the key difference. Some people can handle a little starch or fruit if they're insulin sensitive and healthy. But if you already have fatty liver, you need to be much stricter than someone just trying to maintain health.